Hello everybody, my name is Lewis and today I'm going to be discussing Luther Campbell versus Acuff-Rose music. Now for the next few minutes I'm going to be speaking on the background of the case itself, the conclusion that the justices have came to for the case, and I'm going to be speaking on the impact that the case has made. So let's get started. Now the Luther Campbell versus Acuff-Rose music case is an example of a dispute within the Fair Use Clause of the Copyright Act of 1976. And the case is between Luther Campbell versus Acuff-Ross music. And Luther Campbell is the leader of the rap group 2 Live Crew, and Acuff-Rose music is a music publishing company that held the rights to the songs of a musician, Roy Orbison. Okay, now let's talk about the case here. Acuff-Rose music actually filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against Luther Campbell. And the issue centered around 2 Live Crews reworking of Roy Orbison's Oh Pretty Woman. Now, everybody knows the song Pretty Woman. There's even a movie named after it. So, but here's the issue here. Campbell actually asked Acuff-Rose for a license to recreate the song as a satire or a parody. However, Acuf-Ross declined the offer. What happened is that Luke Campbell actually made the song anyway, and the group's cover of the song Pretty Woman appeared on the clean version of their controversial album 1989's As Nasty as They Want to Be. Now get this, the title of that clean version of the album was As Clean as They Want to Be. It's kind of clever. Now the clean version sold an estimated 250,000 copies in less than a year. Now this is where it gets sticky. Luther claimed that the song was made as a satire, as a parody. So, therefore, the song was protected under the fair use provision. Acuff-Rose, on the other hand, claimed that the song couldn't be protected under the provision because not only did they say that it took too much from the original, that it took the heart of the original and put it into the heart of a new work, but it also claimed that the song was actually released commercially, which meant that they made a profit off of it. So those are some two distinct details of that. All right, so here's the issue. The issue is the interpretation of the fair use provision of the Federal Copyright Act. And if you're the technical type, you will look in the U.S. Code Title 17, Section 107. Which, to paraphrase, it allows the use of unauthorized work for comment and or criticism. Now, the specifics we'll get to later. So the trial court, or the U.S. District Court, found a summary judgment for Luther Campbell on the grounds that the group recorded a parody song under the fair use provision. So 2 Live Crew basically won the case, but Acuff-Rose music was not ready to back down, so they appealed under the U.S. Court of Appeals. So the appellate court took on the case. But something interesting happened. The appellate court actually reversed the decision from the trial case and found in favor of Acuff-Rose. The appellate court looked at the fair use provision of the Federal Copyright Act and claimed that Campbell's use did not qualify as fair use for a few reasons. Now, the first reason is that the commercial nature of the parody rendered it presumably unfair. The second reason is that Campbell had taken too much of the original work by taking the heart of the original and making it the heart of a new work. And the third reason is that market harm has been established by the presumption attacking the commercial uses. So Campbell appealed, and the case eventually made its way to the Supreme Court, where the decision made by the appellate court was reversed and remanded, where the Supreme Court also noted that depending on the situation, a parody might or may not be covered by the fair use provision. So to determine this, the court used the four-factor test of Section 107 of the fair use provision. Now, remember when I told you that we were going to get into specifics? Now is the time. Now, the four factors of fair use are the purpose and character of use of the work, the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount and substantiality of the work, and the effect of the potential market. Now, using this test, the court determined a few things. For the purpose and character of use, they determined that just because Campbell's use was commercial doesn't create a presumption that it is not fair use. It's just one factor to be considered. For nature of the copyrighted work, they determined that this didn't really apply since the artistic value of parodies is often found in their ability to invariably copy popular works of the past. For the amount and substantiality of the work, they decided that Campbell had used the heart of the original work, but that copyright the heart is required in order to be a successful parody. And since he substituted mostly his own lyrics, it could be said that he took most of the original than it was necessary. Plus, it can only be a parody if you can recognize the original material. And on the other hand, satire doesn't require recognition of the original content. And as for effect of the potential market, the court found that in general parodies, it does not harm the marketability of the original work because the two serve different market functions. However, if Acuff-Rose would show that they lost a chance to sell the rights to another parodist because of Campbell's revision, then they might have a case. Eventually, because of this, Acuf-Ross decided to dismiss the case, and both parties decided to settle out of court for an undisclosed amount. Now, the impact of the case is that for the first time, the court has recognized parodies as being protected under the fair use provision. And this case has been used in so many other cases. And that's it. I just want to say thank you all for listening, and I hope you enjoyed me explaining this case. And once again, my name is Louis. Thank you so much.